Once again, subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. Hope you have a wonderful day. All right, so it's going to be xfl0m, some pious. Wait, who is this? Linus Youngster. Wait, hold on. Nilo and Madden have been named as subs for Heroic. Okay. So the roster right now is xfl0m, some pious, Tinner. That's it. I don't know. Linus Youngster, and then their bench is Nilo and Madden. Interesting. Let me read what they put. Rounding out the roster, he's 23, who spent his career sub-top Russian-speaking lineups. He spent the back half of 2024 with Gun 5, averaging an impressive one. So basically, the last half of last year, this guy was on a tear in Tier 2, Tier 3. Okay. Yeah, they're just explaining. If you guys didn't see Sangal, they were in... They played pretty well in EPL, but they were kind of lackluster at the major. They're hella young, though, and pretty good. 20, 22, and 22. So they're pretty young. So I wonder what's going to happen with Nilo and Madden as subs. Right, that seems so... that seems very deliberate, and I don't... Fuck, I wish I was smarter. For visa issues? Maybe for visa issues. I'm wondering if it has something to do with the points. I think this has something to do with Valve ranking system points. I think this is... I'm just pure... Like, no way you announce 2 fucking substitutes with your roster announcement if you're not planning on substituting people in if something doesn't work out. Yeah, I don't know who for what, like, I don't know who would necessarily, like, Nilo's a rifler, right? I think. Yeah, he's been rifling for a minute. Swedish rifler. Let me double check. Yeah, thought so. And so you have 2 riflers on the bench. I didn't want to misspeak. And yeah, this just screams to me that there's going to be changes in the roster if people don't perform, and this is their way of maintaining their VRS points. That's what this is yelling to me. Not even shaming Heroic for it, by the way, because if these guys signed, they know exactly what, like, everybody knows the situation going into this, and they all chose to go here. So anybody saying this is scummy or something, like, they didn't have to do this, you know, like they would have been in these tournaments regardless if they were under Heroic. Heroic needed them more than they needed Heroic, I would say. Yeah, this is gonna, I don't know, Saw is... Dare I say, he is, if not, he's one of the best coaches in Counter-Strike right now. And if there's something he's proven so far, it's that he can make so much happen with so many different rosters, so many different pieces. Like, the fact that he's got 2 players already on the bench, locked and loaded, ready to go. Different levels of experience on them both, but still very, like, useful players. And he's worked with one of them before. I don't know. I feel like Saw is going to make this work. It might not be pretty right off the bat, but he's got... you know, chemistry with already, he knows how Sampius wants to play. He already knows how Madden wants to play. I imagine when they targeted this core of Sangal, he studied them up and at least understands from the outside what they like to do. I don't know. I trust Saw. And I also got to give credit to Heroic as an organization because they were the ones that brought in Saw and rebuilt that last roster as well. So I think the Sangal trio is young and has a lot of potential, but they have some people as subs because not all potential is realized. You know, there's always a lot of CS players with a lot of potential, but you have to realize that potential to, like, start doing some damage. I don't know much about Tinner. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I'm so sorry, but that's going to be a really interesting one. I feel like he's that type of player where they're taking a chance on him and seeing how he does and letting him shoot his shot. But if it doesn't work out, then they have possible replacements for him. So I think overall, I don't have strong opinions about where I think this roster is going to end up. I do have a strong opinion that, well, actually, no, that's not true. I think this roster could maintain itself in top 20, but until I see them play, I can't, like, I don't know where they're going to be. Like, sorry. Petition HLTV respectfully, your rankings do not matter anymore. Can we please, can we, wait, that's not up to date yet. Wait, where? Can we please change it? Like, I think this version, like right here, they can move to top 20 or be close. That's my first impression, is I think that that's where they can get. And that's honestly the most important thing right now with where Heroic is at in rebuild mode. If they can maintain that, like, top 20, top 25 ranking, they're going to get invites to most events. So that's the most important thing for them. And what I imagine will happen is as they figure out what works and what doesn't, they're going to play around with Nilo and Madden in the lineup in different ways and try to break through even higher, probably like top 15 and hopefully threatening top 10 is probably their goal. I don't think any combination of this roster is going to break through a ranking of top 10. That doesn't mean they can't beat those teams. I just mean consistently, I don't see this team with any of these players breaking through there, unless somebody starts to really, one of them emerges more under Saw, under the system, in a new, situation, whatever it is. So somebody kind of has to, if somebody can really take that next step, then there's potential for that. And that's kind of what they're gambling on, I imagine, as well. So it's not to say none of them can't hit that. It's just that's my current expectations. Like, I would hope that's theirs too, is maintain that top 20, 25, have somebody start to really find their form, start threatening top 15, start being able to threaten those top 10 teams. I think that's got to be their goal. And yeah, anybody that's doubting Heroic or Saw at this point, like, I think you're just dumb. So this could crash and fail, but I have to give credit to Heroic and to Saw for both of their abilities at different times to rebuild. Does Heroic ever go back to an all-Danish team? I mean, Astralis is trying to stay all-Danish, and it just doesn't really seem like it's working. So I would imagine not so much. And I think for a team like Heroic, I think being international gives them a lot of flexibility in terms of who they can sign, which allows them to get more creative with rosters and be like, it's an easier rebuild, I think, to go international than to try to stick within one region and try to stick with like all Danish players. I think that's just really hard.